Everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, teacher.
Okay.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you today?
Good evening.
All good. I hear you.
Okay, very good. Well, we are going to start. So first of all, welcome to our first encounter. So it's a pleasure for me to be your teacher in this course. So first of all, I'm going to share today's agenda with you. So this is what we are going to do today. Well, we are going to start with the teacher and students introduction. Then we will talk a little bit about the course objectives. Then we will continue talking about the rights and duties that students have in the different courses, about the procedures for grades revision, and we will talk a little bit about synchronous encounters. Then we will see the course schedule, the grade, and we will talk about the activity that we have for this week, that is the virtual learning environment architecture form. We will see the rubric, some examples, and finally we will have some time for questions and comments. Okay, so that is what we are going to do today. So first of all, well, I would like to introduce myself so you could see a little bit about me in the forum and in the video. So, well, my name is Sandra Sanchez. In relation to my professional experience, well, I hold a BA degree in modern languages, Spanish and English. Also a specialization in bilingual education and an MA degree in English language teaching for self-directed learning. Well, in relation to my personal stance, well, I like reading, going to the movies, going shopping, listening to music, especially rock, and spending some time with my family. I'm married and I have 2 little children. Okay, so that is a little bit about me. So I would like to know a little bit about it. So I would like to listen to you. If you want to talk about, your experience in relation to teaching, if you are working in this moment, what you like to do, and any other information that you want to.
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening,
How are you?
Belisario.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that's my name, Belisario. I'm 40 years old now. I'm married. I have 2 children, a daughter and a son. They speak English. I work as a teacher. I work all day long. And in the mornings, someone's saying that it's a bad noise, something like this, but
Okay, okay, Belisario, thank you very much and welcome to the course. Okay, who wants to continue? Okay, Luke, go ahead, please.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Luis. I'm 23 years old. Currently, I work as an English teacher at a school, and I'm studying next Saturday on an institute. Um, well, I've been working as a teacher for almost 1 year. Well, more than a year actually. And about me, things that I like to do. I like reading about linguistics, communication, a little bit about psychology. Maybe I like playing video games. I like practicing martial arts, and I love English. I love English. I love languages in general, but most of them English. So I think that's most of.
Okay. Okay, Luis. Thank you very much.
I would like to continue if you allow me.
Okay. Who's speaking?
Sebastian.
Okay, Sebastian. Give me 1 second, Sebastian, because I see that someone, well, that Ingrid is saying, Ana Maria and Ingrid, they are saying that the sound is not good. What about?
Yeah, there's a bad noise over there.
Oh, okay, I can't hear that noise, but well, I would like to ask you please to mute your microphones while someone is speaking. So turn them on just when you are going to speak. So, and we see if the sound is right. Okay, okay, Sebastian, continue. Thank you.
Okay, Sebastian, I'm from Medellin. I've been an English teacher for 6 years now. No, wait, for 10 years now. And I've been working for 6 years at EAFIT Language Center here in Medellin. EAFIT is a private university, and I love teaching. I love English. It's not only my job, but also my hobby. Besides that, I love music too. I play piano, I play drums, and I would like to become a simultaneous interpreter someday. So I think this course it's really important for us as teachers nowadays, with a lot of technologic opportunities and challenges too. And it's been a pleasure to to start this course. Thank you very much.
Okay, Sebastian, thank you very much, and welcome to the course. Okay, who wants to continue?
Hello, can you hear me well? I don't know what happened, but the noise, I can hear you well because the noise is...
Ingrid. Okay, sorry, Ingrid, can you repeat that about the noise, please?
I can hear you well. I can hear the class well because always I hear the noise. I don't know what happened.
Well, I don't know.
It's like a machine, electric machine. I don't know what what is, but it's so
But
weird.
it looks it's yours. It's your microphone, Ingrid, I think, because when you speak, the noise goes out.
But Ana Maria, well,
Ana Maria, do you hear the noise?
Okay, that's better now.
Yeah? Well, I don't know because I can't hear that noise. I hear well. So I don't know what. Okay, but Ingrid, continue and we see what happens.
okay. Ingrid Paola, but I prefer that you call me Paola.
Okay.
Actually, very major in English language. Like, I don't know what happened. That noise is so annoying. Sorry. But
No, I'm sorry about that.
There.
Yep.
Okay, I like reading too. I like paint. I really enjoy photography. I don't know. I can hear you well. I can hear me because the noise is there.
Oh my God. Who else is listening to that sound? Ingrid, Ana Maria, who else? Someone else?
Luis,
I can hear the sound.
Oh my God. Okay, give me 1 second and I close my microphone and I try to fix the audio. Give me 1 second and we see if it gets better. Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay. Gracias.
Looks like it's the teacher's microphone.
Absolutely.
Sound is gone. So, well, I agree with you.
The teacher's gone too.
Well, let's have a party here.
What do you mean?
I knew it.
Okay.
Hi, the noise has come back.
Oh, so it's me.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
got you team.
Okay, I'm going to turn my microphone off and you continue with your presentation, okay? So as soon as one finishes, well, the other can continue.
Who's gonna talk or who was talking? Paola?
Okay?
Okay, me. Sorry. Okay, my name is Paola. I'm 32 years old and happily married too, but I don't have children. I have a puppy. I like reading, watch TV series on Netflix. I try to spend my day with my husband, with my puppy, with my family, and try to do my housewife homework. And I don't know what to say. I really try. I'm not working as a teacher. Actually, I'm working as a administrative staff in a language center. But I like. I want to be a teacher experience because I need I need it. So that's all. I don't know what to say.
Okay, Paola, thank you very much. Well, who wants to continue?
Can I do it, teacher? Hello, this is
Hello.
Wilton. Well, I'm Wilton Martinez. I'm a musician. I work in different groups as a drummer or percussionist. And well, I have 2 children, one Sebastian and Tiffany. Sebastian is 8 years old, and Tiffany is 2 years old. I'm happy married. My wife's name is Diana Diaz, and I like to play music, of course, a lot. I like Latin jazz. I like Colombian music as well, and of course, I like English. That's what I'm here studying, and I hope to learn a lot of about you and my classmates. That's it, teacher.
Okay, Wilton, thank you very much and welcome to the course. Well, here Juan David introduced himself because his camera and microphone are not working, so he said that he's 33 years old. He taught English in Armenia last year, but he moved to Bogota, and he started a new job in a call center, and he used to live in Florida when he was little. So welcome, Juan David. I hope next that your camera and microphone works better. Okay. Who wants to continue? Okay, someone else?
Me, because when I was talking, like that noise, it was impossible. So, something important that I teach English and Portuguese. In the mornings, I teach to kids. In the afternoon, I teach Portuguese at university. And after that, I have private classes. I work all day long until night, even on Saturdays. On Saturdays, I have a Portuguese class or Portuguese a course from 8 to 12 in another university. Uh, another thing is that my kids speak English because I talk to them in English as well, and they watch TV. They also watch TV in English. So my son is 7 years old, and his English level is so good, kind like a native. He understands a lot on TV.
Okay, Alisaria, that's great. I see you are a very busy man. I would like you to tell us some tips about the way you started teaching your kids English at home. It would be great. Getting the course.
Yeah, here in Colombia it's tricky because most of the teachers like have English as a job, but it's because languages are easy to me. So it's because I teach English to kids even in private classes, and they learned a lot. So I think people pay me to do that job, so I have to do the same with my kids. Yeah, like it's for free, and I love them, so I'm doing something great for them. Even I have relatives in other countries, like in I have relatives who speak. My nieces, I have two nieces. They are like Arabian. They were born in Lebanon, but now they live in Dubai, and they speak 3 or 4 languages. So I think it's a great thing for my kids. And when they grow up, like 10 years old, I'll teach them another language, like Portuguese. And then I think it's great right now because of the globalization.
Of course.
So, and the most important to teach children, like our children or your children, is by talking to them just in English, never in Spanish. Another person like my wife does that job, talk, talks to them in Spanish, but not me.
Okay, that's great, Alisaria. Okay, thank you for sharing that experience with us. Well, someone else? Well, I'm going to continue with the agenda, and if you want to introduce yourselves during the class, feel free to do it, okay? So you just tell me that you want to introduce yourselves, and I stop a little bit, and you do, okay? Well, so I'm going to continue with the agenda. Uh, well, I would like just to mention the course objectives. You are going to find them in the study guide and in the course program, but it's just to remember them a little bit. So these are like the most important ones. So the first one is to provide students with a theoretical and practical vision of the role of ICT in English language teaching. The second one is to understand the concept of e-learning and ICT. The third one is to develop a virtual learning environment using a variety of Web 2 2.0 tools. And the last one is to study the guidelines for the implementation of ICT in English classes. So these are like the main objectives for our course. Well, this is something that you also have access to in the regulations, in the students' regulations. But well, it is important to take a look at them at the beginning of the course. So it is related to the rights and duties you have as students. So we are just going to mention them, and I would like someone to help me reading them. So the first one, that is the rights you have. Could someone help me reading them, please?
Me.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you very much.
Where, artículo 18? Should I start from there?
Yes, please.
Derechos de los estudiantes. Son derechos de los estudiantes a recibir un ejemplar del reglamento estudiantil, b, cursar el programa de formación previsto y utilizar los recursos que para ello le ofrece la universidad, c, recibir tratamiento respetuoso por parte de las directivas, profesores y compañeros, d, recibir los servicios de bienestar institucional que la universidad ofrece de acuerdo con los reglamentos que se establezcan para regular su funcionamiento, e, acceder a todas las fuentes de información científica que la universidad dispone para su servicio. F. Conocer oportunamente los resultados de sus evaluaciones académicas. G. Presentar por escrito sus solicitudes y reclamos de orden académico o disciplinario, siguiendo siempre el conducto regular. H. En caso de sanción, ser escuchado en descargos e interponer los recursos previstos en el presente reglamento. ¿Continúo?
Yes, please.
Y expresar con libertad y respeto sus opiniones. Participar en los consejos de gobierno, de dirección y de facultad de acuerdo con el estatuto orgánico de la universidad. K. Formar parte de las organizaciones estudiantiles afines a su campo de formación. L. Ser elegido como representante de los estudiantes de un programa en organizaciones, federaciones y o agremiaciones externas de la universidad. M. Representar a la universidad en los eventos por los cuales se ha designado. N. Vincularse a semilleros y grupos de investigación de los diferentes programas y facultades de la universidad. O. Participar en grupos institucionales artísticos, culturales y deportivos. P. Exigir el reconocimiento de los derechos morales y patrimoniales a que haya lugar dentro del ejercicio de sus derechos de autor.
Okay, Luis, thank you very much. Do you have questions about this? Your rights?
Not me.
Okay, what about the others?
No, teacher, for me it's clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's continue with your duties. Can someone else help me reading them, please?
Son deberes de los estudiantes conocer y respetar la filosofía de la universidad, cumplir cabalmente los reglamentos de la universidad, guardar decoro en el trato con las directivas, los profesores, trabajadores de la universidad, con los compañeros y demás estudiantes de los diferentes programas académicos y con la comunidad a nivel externo, contribuir con la seguridad y preservación de los bienes del campus universitario, siendo responsables de la reparación económica por los daños que por acción u omisión causen a estos bienes, velar por su propia integridad física, representar dignamente a la universidad, responsabilizándose de su comportamiento en los eventos para los cuales sean designados, participar en las actividades curriculares y extracurriculares realizadas dentro o fuera del campus universitario. Registrar y pagar derechos de matrícula como estudiante dentro de las fechas previstas en el calendario académico y según las normas establecidas. Portar y presentar el carné que los acredita como estudiante de la universidad cuando sea requerido. Recibir y acatar las sanciones que le fueren impuestas. Asumir sus obligaciones académicas, reportar sus inquietudes de manera oportuna ante las respectivas instancias. registrar y usar adecuadamente la dirección de correo electrónico institucional asignada. Hasta ahí llega, ¿verdad?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Belisario. Okay, do you have questions regarding your duties? Okay, I know that you know this information, but well, it's good to remember this initial of the course. Well, let's continue. This is something that is really important, and it is related to the synchronous encounters. So remember that they are worth the 20% of the final grade. They are mandatory. They cannot be replaced by any other activity. The only exceptions are medical leaves or family emergencies, but you need to have the corresponding support documents in case you have any of those situations. And remember that work situations are not included here. So if you have any work situation, it is not going to be an excuse for not attending the encounter. Well, it is not enough to attend the encounter. They imply students' active participation in the encounter. It could be oral or written participation because, well, sometimes the time is not enough for all of the students to participate. And it is also important you to take into account that the students need to be present during the whole encounter. So a student that is in half an hour of the encounter is not going to receive the same grade that a student that is present in the whole encounter. Okay? So that is information that is really important because, well, you know that we are going to have like 8 or 9 encounters and they have a high grade. Okay? Do you have questions?
Teacher, I have a question.
Yeah.
How long are the encounters?
How long?
Yeah, how long are they? 1 hour?
Yes, approximately. Well, it could be maybe some minutes. Well, we can finish some minutes earlier or some minutes later, but it could be an hour and 10 minutes or maybe 50 minutes, but that is approximately.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Do you have more questions about this?
Not exactly.
Well, let's continue. Well, I know about the sound. I really apologize about that. I don't know what is happening, so I'm going to check my computer
Teacher,
for the next class. Sorry. Yeah, tell
have
me.
you tried unplugging and plugging it back? It may work.
Yeah, I tried that before, but I don't know what happened.
Teacher, sometimes the power cable connected to the PC sometimes interferes with the sound.
Well,
Are you using a laptop?
yeah.
Because it happens to me once, and I unplugged it and I just worked with the battery of the PC and it worked well.
Well, in fact,
Has happened to me as well.
I'm not using the cable, just the battery.
My God.
I'm sorry, I don't know. Well, I
That sound is
I will check that for the next class. I don't know what happened. It never happened before. I don't know, but I'm going to check that.
Don't worry, we'll get used to it.
So, yeah.
You have to.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Okay.
it sounds like a drill working.
Oh my God. I know that it could be very uncomfortable. Sorry about that. Well, this is something that is important to do. It happens when you need, well, when you don't feel, or when you are not, when you don't agree with the grades, because it could happen, and there is a specific procedure you need to follow if you have that situation. So I would like another person to help me reading this part, please.
Artículo 39. Solicitud de revisión de calificaciones. El estudiante tiene derecho a solicitar por escrito la revisión de una prueba académica dentro de los 3 días hábiles siguientes al momento de la socialización del resultado de la misma. Para tal efecto, solicitará inicialmente la revisión al docente a cargo en segunda instancia al director del programa, quien designará un segundo calificador. Una vez haya sido notificado el segundo calificador de la revisión que debe realizar, este cuenta con un plazo máximo de 3 días para entregar el resultado de la misma. El director del programa notificará por escrito al estudiante la calificación obtenida en esta segunda revisión. Parágrafo primero. En caso de optar por un segundo calificador, la nota definitiva será la otorgada por este, quien podrá ratificar, mejorar o disminuir la calificación que inicialmente le había sido asignada. Parágrafo segundo. Los trabajos de grado, prácticas profesionales y laboratorios no admiten la revisión por segundo calificador. ¿Hay algo más?
No. Okay.
There's something else?
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so please keep in mind that information in case you need to follow that process, okay? Well, let's continue. Here we have the course schedule. We have the different activities, the products, the way you have to present them, the formats, the due dates, the scores, and the percentages that they represent for your final grade. So, well, the first activity was the digital concept map that you did last week. The second one is the virtual learning environment architecture forum. That is the activity that you have for this week. That we will talk a little bit about that later. The third activity is the a 500 words piece of writing in Google Docs about the reflection of the importance of Google Drive in English classes. The next activity is the creation of an avatar to yourself. The next one is a video you have to make, and it will be part of your virtual learning environment. That is the most important activity you have for the course. Then we have the virtual learning environment that is based on the architecture part that you are doing this week. The activity number 7 is a participation in a voice thread forum about the implementation of ICT. Then you have the last activity that is a lesson plan including all of the topics that we are going to study within the course. And the final activity is the self-evaluation. So those are the activities that we have for the course. Remember that you are going to find the dates and all of the information in a document that is in the course that is called like general information and timetable, and you are going to find those dates in the study guides too, right? So remember to check those documents. Remember the grades that we have. Well, you have all of the activities that they are the 70% of the course, the synchronous encounters 20%, and the self-evaluation that is the 10%. So there you have the 100% of the grades. Okay. And well, so here we have like the two first activities. This is the digital concept map that was the activity that you presented on Sunday. So you are going to receive feedback during the week. So by the weekend, all of you are going to have your grades ready, and you are going to receive the rubrics with the corresponding feedback. And we have for this week the virtual learning environment architecture forum that is a group activity. And it is, the due date is August 19th, that is next Sunday. Okay, so we are going to talk a little bit about this activity. I am going to show you, in a moment I'm going to show you some examples of virtual learning environments that I did some time before. Because this architecture form is like the plan of your virtual learning environment. You are going to develop a learning environment, a real learning environment using a specific platform and following some guidelines that you are going to receive when we get to that unit. And here you have what you need to include in this form. So you have the file in the unit number 2. It's a Word document, and you have to fill that format, okay? So here we have the items. So first of all, you have to include the goals. And you have to write at least 2 goals for the implementation of a VLE into the learning context. This is really important, take into account your context. You have to describe the target population. You need to select a group of students and describe it. For example, is it a face-to-face class? Is it a distance class? What are the main features of that group? So taking into account that this is a group activity, you need to choose one. For example, if 2 students are working with different groups, you have to choose just one to do this activity. You have to talk about the topic. You have to select one topic you would like to develop or reinforce through the virtual learning environment. So here you have some examples. Reducing carbon footprint, planning our next holiday. It is important to include the grammar aspects and the vocabulary you need to develop the selected topic. So when I show you the examples, this is going to be clear for you. You have to talk about the website selected to design your virtual learning environment. So you need to analyze the advantages and disadvantages of different websites to create your virtual environment. So you have to describe this. So you need to tell me the different websites you consider at first and why you decided on one. Select and explain why is it the best option for you according to your context and topic. So here you have some examples: Wix, Footnote, Blogger, Model, Webby, etc. The rationale, this is something important too. Explain the reasons why it is valuable to implement a virtual learning environment in your context. Include citations that will show your understanding of the ideas developed in the material presented during the lesson. Please don't forget this. Include citations and to support your ideas with literature. Okay? Virtual learning environment introduction and introduction to the topic language learning activities. So explain the content that you will include in your VLE, the way you will introduce the topic, what language learning activities you will include and why, and what tools you would probably use in these sections. You need to include also a collaborative learning tool. Explain the importance of including collaborative learning tools in your virtual learning environment according to the literature presented in the lesson. What ICT tools would you probably use in this section? For example, Padlet, Google Drive, etc. You need to include a strategy or tool to keep track of your students' work assessment. So you have to describe why is it important to include a strategy to keep track on your students' work. How would you promote self-assessment and autonomous work? What ICT tools would you probably use in this section? Communication tools as well. Explain the importance of including teacher, student, and peer communication tools based on the literature presented in the lesson. What ICT tools would you probably use in this section? And finally, you need to include also a tool to encourage learners' autonomy. Why Is it important to promote learners' autonomy in a VLE? What kind of links would you post in your VLE? Okay, so these are like the items you have to include in your form. And something that you see here is that one part of the form is the rationale, but please support all of the items of this form. So when you are going to talk about the target population, include literature to support your ideas. When you talk about the collaborative learning tool, please include literature. So in each of the sections, you need to support ideas with literature. And that is something that you are going to see here in the rubric. Well, before continuing with the rubric, do you have questions?
Teacher, do you by any chance have an example of the goals and the rationale?
Yeah.
Or maybe one of these forms already filled so we can get an insight of how it should be done?
Yeah, I'm going to show you a real virtual learning environment, not the form, the virtual learning environment, and you can see, well, different ways to do it. I'm going to show you two examples, and I'm going to upload some forms that students that have took this course before have done. So you are going to have some examples, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Right. Well, I'm going to show you the rubric. This is the rubric. And please, here you have the criteria. So pay attention to this. You need a rationale for the selected web tool, a rationale of the design of the virtual learning environment in context, rationale of each one of the modules. That this is what I was telling you before, that it is not just the part of the form that says rationale, because you need to support ideas in all of the modules. Use of language, and that's it. Those are the four criteria I'm going to assess in this activity. Remember that you can find this in the study guide, and I'm going to upload this presentation to the course as well. Okay? So here you have the examples. I'm going to show you one of them. The first one, that is called My Day. Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing my screen 1 second so I can share the virtual learning environment. Okay, so here you have one example. It is called My Day because it is related to daily routines, to simple present tense, so that's why it has that name. For developing this virtual learning environment, I use Wix. That is one website that is easy to use. You can use the one that you prefer. That this is just an example. If you want to have like a more structured virtual learning environment, I recommend you to use like a methodology to plan the lesson. In this case, I use Ganak. I don't know if you have heard about that or you know something about Ganak. That is a kind of methodology to plan lessons. So, well, here you have Ganak is like an acronym of each of the sections of the lesson plan. So here you have the G, that is goals, the A, that is accessing prior knowledge, the N, that is new information, the A, that is activation, the G is generalization, and I included another part that is assessment. So this virtual learning environment is based on that methodology that is called Ganak. Okay? So here you have a description of the English teacher, a description of the population, a description of the student's English level, and a section for references. So you have like the title, that is My Day, daily routines, a picture, like an introduction of the VLE, So here you can see that it says here you will learn the daily routines, so you will identify them, say them, write them, and have fun by studying. And to answer your doubts, contact your tutor, risk guide. So here you are giving students like ways to contact the teacher. And well, I'm going to show you this part that is goals. So here I included a content goal and a language goal. The content goal is students will be able to talk about their daily routines, and the language goal is students will be able to identify the daily routines. Well, I'm going to show you this part here. So English teacher, we have like it was designed for sixth graders at a public school called Community Market School. Well, here it was some time ago, so you have like an introduction of myself, a picture, and you have the population. So the target population is sixth graders from this school. And a short description, they are kids that belong to the 19 locality and they are from 10 to 14 years old. English level, so their level was A1 and they have a description of that level according to the Common European Framework of Reference. And here you have the references that I use to develop this virtual learning environment. Well, I showed you the was the goals, and here you have the prior knowledge, accessing prior knowledge. So I designed a KWL chart, and students have also a video to start getting familiar with the vocabulary they are going to use. So, well, you have the instruction here. Click on the icon, complete the chart. K, write the routines you know in English, because K is no. So the knowledge students already have about the topic. W, write in Spanish the routines you don't know in English, but you want to know, because the W is what students want to know. And the L, so this is at the end of the lesson. When you finish the lesson, write the daily routines you learn. So the L is learn, what the students learn. So students click in this document and they can download the chart. Watch the video and think from the routines in which of them do you do every day. Here they have the video. Okay, so that is the accessing prior knowledge part of the lesson. Then we have the end, that is the new information, and here is where the topic is presented. So look at the pictures about the daily routines, look at the corresponding word, click on the arrow. Okay, so these are like some flashcards, and well, the students have the opportunity to get familiar with the routines. Yeah. That is like the presentation of the topic. Then they have the activation, that is when they practice what they learned during the prior knowledge and new information sections. So here they have different activities. So look at the video, listen and practice the pronunciation. Well, this is another video with the pronunciation, and develop the word search based on what they have studied, printed, and handed in class. So students click here and they can download the word search. So that is the activation. Then they have the generalization, that is This part is very related to assessment because it's like a self-evaluation process. So students are going to analyze the learning process that they follow during the lesson. So they have different options here. You really understood? Great, great job. Do you have doubts yet? Practice by doing the following exercises. So if they have doubts, they can have more practice here. So they are going to have access to additional exercises. Do you feel you have not understood yet? Review the material again, visit the following pages and practice. So here they have more exercises as well. Yeah. And finally, they have the assessment part of the lesson. So this is like a forum. And well, let me see if it is working. Maybe it is not working because it is. I did this some years ago. But well, this is a forum that you can include in your virtual learning environment. So they write down their names and they describe their daily routine, and that is the assessment part of the lesson. So this is a virtual learning environment. What you have to do this week is to plan this virtual learning environment by filling out the form that we have in the virtual classroom. Okay? This is one example. Do you have questions?
Yes, I got a question.
Yeah.
Like how many topics can we choose?
Well, it is up to you. I would suggest you to include just one. But if you want to include more, you can do.
There are two goals, right? We have two goals, and could be one topic or two topics. If we choose two different topics, so the goals would be 4 goals, or
Well, I think so. Yeah, you would have more goals, more than 2 goals, if you are going to include more topics.
and if we want to like incorporate listening activities, we need another website, not this one.
Yes, of course. This is just an example. You can choose the website that you prefer, the one that you feel comfortable with. Yes, and you include what you want: listening, speaking, reading, writing.
Okay.
Yeah. So feel free to include what you want. The important here is to follow the form, and yeah, and that it is useful for your students and for the context you work with. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Mhm. Well, this is an example. I'm going to show you another one. Give me 1 second, please.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you say about the goals, must the goals be in terms of language functions? And
Well, when you are going to okay, the goals in relation to the content or the goals that you have in the form, because they are different.
so the goals I have in the form will be different from the ones that I put on my website, right?
Yeah, that's right. The goals that you are going to include in the form are the goals that you have to develop this virtual learning environment. Why is it going to be useful for your teaching context? What do you want to develop in your students? Yeah.
Okay, I think
It's more like the purpose. The purpose of this. This is a learning tool. So, what is the purpose of this virtual learning environment for you.
Okay, got it. And also, should there be an integration of skills, or is just our decision? I mean, should there be speaking, listening, writing, reading, or just the ones that we prefer?
Well, it is according to you, because maybe you can have that need. Maybe you want to develop the 4 skills in your students, or maybe you want to reinforce just one skill. So it is according to your students' needs.
Okay, that's clear by now. Thanks a lot.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, and I'm going to show you the next example, that is full how do you look like. Um, Give me 1 second, please. Okay, this is another example, and it is called how do you look like, because it is about adjectives of appearance. It's similar to the other one because it follows the same structure. It continues with the GANAC methodology. You have the English teachers, the population, the English level, references, the introduction of the website. You also have the goals, a language goal and a content goal, that in this case they are students will be able to identify some adjectives of appearance in simple conversations, and the content goal, that is students will be able to use the adjectives learned to develop listening exercises related to physical appearance description. So as you can see here, it is focused on listening. Yeah, well, you have the prior knowledge section. So here you can find something different, that is a timer. That is another thing you can include, because since you want to develop autonomy in your students, they can control time. So it would be useful. So here you have match the adjectives of appearance with the corresponding meaning in English, in Spanish, sorry. Look carefully and find the couples. Click on one of the squares, then in another one. If they turn green, means that you found the couple. If they turn orange, you have to try again. Check your answers and review the familiar vocabulary. Pay attention to the new word. So this is an activity that I did with Educa Play. This is a very good resource because you have the possibility to design your own activities. You can design a word search. For example, this that is a matching exercise. So you have different possibilities, and you can include the vocabulary and the topics that you want.
Different to the other, this is interactive, right?
Yeah,
The other one just was like watching videos, and this is interactive.
Exactly, this is more interactive. Yeah. So here, well, they have like the matching exercise. This is very simple because they have a basic level. So they have the words in Spanish and English. So you have like gordo and fat. Yeah. And they have the feedback. And here you have another exercise. Do you know more adjectives to describe the physical appearance? Which one? Well, then we have the new information section of the virtual learning environment. Listen to the adjectives of appearance and practice their pronunciation. You will find 3 activities related to the adjectives of appearance. Read the instructions carefully. Watch and practice. Look at the video, look at the pictures and listen to their pronunciation. Watch the video again, practice the vocabulary, repeat each word. You can do it again and again. So this is a video from YouTube. listening exercise with a tool that is called Woki, that is designed to make avatars. And well, we are going to have an activity about this like later on. So students have to listen to the Woki, listen to Kate and repeat the adjectives she pronounces, practice again and pay attention to her pronunciation.
Listen and practice. Tall, short, fat, thin.
Okay, then you have crossword. So write the opposite adjective. On the right side of the square you will find 9 sentences that correspond to an adjective, read and write the opposite adjective in the corresponding number. Look at it.
Sí, en clase con audífonos.
And here you have like some worksheets they can use. And here they have the code. Yeah, this is interactive as well. Then we have the activation section of the lesson. Then we have another listening exercise because I told you before this lesson is focused on listening. And you have 2 more keys. And you have another here to match like the pictures with the descriptions. And this is something important. Students have the possibility to check their answers. Yeah. So they have the possibility. Well, they have when they click on this button, they are going to have the answers to the exercise. The generalization, and in this case is a survey. Okay. Well, in this moment, I don't have access to the survey, but it was like a self-evaluation. For example, do you feel you learned new vocabulary? What new vocabulary did you learn? Do you feel able to describe your physical appearance? Questions like that. The survey, and according to the survey, so they have like some extra exercises here according to their answers. And finally, we have the assessment. So, okay, in this case, the instructions are in Spanish because this was a course with a very basic level. And again, it's a listening exercise. And they have here the option to check the answers. Well, this is just for you to have an idea because they are examples. I know that they miss things. Well, if you want to do it more complete, you want to use a different website, well, everything is up to you. Remember that this virtual learning environment is going to be like the final activity of the course. So it's important you start thinking about the things you are going to do. I know that when you present the virtual learning environment architecture form, it can change because you can plan something in this moment, but you can change your mind later on. So it's okay because you can have new ideas later, so there's no problem about it. Okay?
Okay.
Questions?
One question.
No questions? Okay.
Why do you have in your website a part that asks the student whether or not they have learned or whether or not they have understood? Shouldn't we all be aware that they know or not on the assessment part? I mean, I'm curious, why is that tab included there?
The self-assessment? What?
Excuse me?
I didn't understand your question. Could you repeat, please?
Okay, no worries.
Why did I include the self-assessment in the lesson?
Yes, exactly. That's it. I mean, we have an assessment tab too. So why two assessment tabs?
Well, the first one, that is the generalization, is more like a self-assessment activity. And the assessment is the one that checks the student understanding of the topic. Yeah. Why the self-assessment? Because in the form there is a section that says tools to encourage learners' autonomy. This is one way to encourage autonomy. If they reflect about the process they carried out, and taking into account that a virtual environment is something that they have to follow and to learn by themselves, it's important that they do this process as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so that was what I wanted to share with you today, because this form is really important, because it's like the plan of your virtual learning environment, and it's relevant you to have clear everything about the form and the virtual learning environment since the very first moment. Okay. Emmanuel has a question. The form. The idea is that you use the form that is in the virtual classroom, because it is already designed. But if you want to include something else, or you want to be more detailed when describing something, you can do it. But you have to do it in the form. Okay? Remember that something is the form, and the other activity is the virtual learning environment that is for the end of the course, not for this moment. Okay, something else? Okay, so, well, I have to say thank you very much for attending the encounter. Remember that if you have more questions, you can write to me. You can use the messages section of the course. You can use the forums, because we have like a frequently asked questions forum, and you can write to my email too. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much, and see you next week on Wednesday, the same time. Have a good night.
Same to you. Thanks for your time.
You too.
Good night.
Take care. Sleep tight.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Good night.